what have we got here? We've got a very heavy, come out, let's look at the case. There's nothing exciting in the case. No, case is nothing. Fortunately, the case can be fixed and repaired and patched, but we'll set that to the side for the moment. As you can see, the case has come up nice. These look still rusty, but they've been treated, and the case has all been sealed, painted, and glued together with a very strong glue. As I say, that does look rusty, but it is treated. And then we'll put the camera on upstairs and you can see what I'm going to do with it. It's not an awful shape. It's in pretty good shape from there downwards. And then it starts to take a little bit of a turn. I'm going to have to find a way to get those re-chromed. And the nuts re-chromed or replaced, but I really like to keep the originals. Can't keep the original that. Oh God, if you had smell-o-vision, it smells like something that's been locked away in mothballs for 100 years. So I'm going to take it all apart now. Come on, get into focus. That's it, fall over at the same time. Oh, look at the tuners. Screws, maybe a couple of them being replaced. Tuners look okay. So what I'm going to do now anyway, as you can see, this is slightly loose. It's come off the back. That back has come off. This is terrible. Get in focus for it. Thank you. That's gone loose. And that needs to be glued back down again. Okay. Right, put that little bit of black there so that I know where to not let this go. So let's just see, taking off these nuts. I'm trying to figure out now. Just take away that. It looks like paper. It doesn't look like goat skin or anything. Oh yeah. Close up you can see it. It's just it's actually just cheap tin that's being plated, and the little screws seem to be okay. Yeah. Come on, get in focus, boys. Yeah. They're just like spacers, I believe. Just holding it away from the edge. Just do that and put them there. And they're held on by tiny nails. Tiny nails. Can you get any tinier than that? Okay. So the inside, that has to be repaired. Let me just see that corner there, that has to be. Alright, I see, right, okay, so it's, I don't know if I can see it, cast iron, this and that are squishing the, whatever that is. I think it looks like, feels like cardboard. So what I need to do is separate the two. And there we go, the two halves. Right, okay, so that half can go back over there. I'm going to treat that with something. And that's the, got a metal ring in it. The bit that should be made of hide. Maybe it is made of hide. Now I'm going to measure that and order a new one of those. And then I'm going to have to figure out something to get this chrome plated again. I'd like to get it at the at least repaired. Okay, Banjo Ukelele. I'm going to take the neck off. Didn't think I needed to take the neck off, but I spotted something that I thought was interesting, so I'm going to take it off anyway. What I wanted to see is this screw. And is it just a screw that's holding the neck on with a washer? It is. Right, okay. So that's the top screw and the bottom screw, and they're screwed into that piece of wood. And that piece of wood looks very good quality. I wonder what it's called. And I'm going to do this now, fix this now, this little crack. And it looks like it's split the wood, and there's not really much I can do to clean it out without I'm reading the diary of Samuel Pepys at the moment, and he is a fascinating man. Born in mid 1530s, 1540s. He lived through all the turmoil of the Catholic king taking over. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that. What's that? You're coming off and you're going in the middle. I was hoping to get two of you on, but yeah, I'm not. That's better. That's better, better, better. Three clamps, you might think that's overkill. Do you think that's overkill? Well, I tell you for why I'm using three clamps when one might have done it. When I tested it before I put glue in, it seemed quite stiff to be able to get it to close. It seemed that it was, maybe that crack's been there for 100 years. And let me just get in there. So I had to put quite a bit of pressure to get it to close. So I'm hoping that this glue, tight bond, will do the job. So there you go. That's it for now. Then I go away. I'm going to leave that for 48 hours actually, because I really want that sealed. Okay. Yeah, they look like little cheap modern screws. So I'm going to keep them for size only. It's pretty mean looking actually, just pressed over. But it's brass, so I suppose. So that is loose. So let me put my other glasses on. Let me just look at that for a second. You can't work at these too much, because you wreck them. Oh, it's just a split peg. Can you see where my finger is? Showing you the split peg. Right, okay, that's a... So those have been, if you look closely at those, you see that they've been shaved in some way. And there was two holes. Am I too close? There was two holes in them, and this one's been, the bottom one's been soldered up. They would be done at the time. And there's no adjustment for looseness, and those have been pressed in. So we're stuck with what we've got. But clean it up. It's got a pattern on it, which I didn't notice before. But there we go. I'll take that off and put that in there. And this one, I may try brute force and ignorance, but not too much brute force and ignorance. Come to daddy. There you go. It's come off. Right, okay. So let me just get rid of that, because that could scratch a guitar in future. Bin. Right, now a little bit of brute force. Ah, look at that, look at that. Let's see what this one looks like, yeah. Yeah, much the same. These are all stiffer. That's quite stiff, that's quite loose. I'm going to look at ways to see what way I can tighten them up. I don't think I can though, but those are for cleaning. Okay, and this here, I'm going to give this a bit of a clean now, just to see if there's anything we need to look at that's going to cause me grief. Oh yes, there is. Let's just do it now. I've got to take that out. Just press it down and let it sit for a few days, and there you go. That's it for now. One ring to move them all. What is it? One ring to, and one, well, whatever. Anyway, need the metal ring. I've ordered the calf skin, and I'm going to take this off. Oh, it's going to be a little bit difficult to take off, and it's probably quite rusted from being in there for 100 years. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting indeed. Maybe I should have put you on the stand. Come on, machine. It's tough little skin. I don't know whether it's goat or cow skin. It's just difficult to say. I'm not an expert on skinning things, but look, I know that it's, oh, hold on a second, for fuck's sake. Put the lights on. It's galvanized. Galvanized, so it means it's not going to be too hard to, I bent it now. I didn't want to bend it, but that's handy. I can bend it back again quickly. Anyway, it'll take its shape from the cow skin. Oh, that was a short job. That was a short job, okay. That's some, but all right, okay, ciao. Okay, Mr. Tightbond, have you done your job? Are you going to live up to your name? It is now 48 hours since I last glued you together. Are you going to hold this piece of wood for me? Let's just see. Oh, that was tight, deliberately tight. Now, what do we got? It was split along there. I'm going to give it a couple of taps here. And it seems to be quite good. You can still see the crack, but it looks to be held now. We'll soon find out as we go along. Right, now the skin is ordered, and the next process is to put the skin on. So we'll get together then. Well, it's always nice to do something you've never done before. My banjolele, gotta be 100 years old. I'm going to put a new skin on it. Either goat skin or calf skin, I think that is, but I bought calf skin. And the thing to do is you put the calf skin over that, and then you press down on that. You bring the calf skin out over the top of it, and then you push it down and it tightens it, and then you let it dry. Oh, it all sounds so simple. Put that on, and then you put that on, tighten it down and let it dry, and it's all so simple. Right, we have a quite damp piece of calf skin. That's the top of the skin. You can just see the shine, and the theory is you put it on there like that. You put this ring on it, right, like that. Then you put this on top and pull the skin through the inside to the top. It's a very, very slight margin of, so I hope it will go through it. I suppose if you've got a really thick calf skin or goat skin, it wouldn't go through it. So we're going to see how this works. Right, okay. And there you go. That's me, all I'm going to do. That was a little bit harder than I thought it would be, but that's... Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? And you can see I've got some room to move. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I've got some room to move. And when that goes tight, if you remember in the old cowboy and west cowboy movies, the Indians used to use leather, and they'd tie up their victims with leather, wet leather, and it contracted and caused more pain. So that's what's going to happen with this. It's going to contract and cause more pain, and get tighter and tighter and tighter. And when it's tight, then I have some room to play. But it has a little bit of a noise to it at the moment. Oh, I can't sing Native American songs because I'll be blocked by YouTube. Okay, what I'm going to look at today is cleaning up the surplus around the edge of the banjolele. I'm not going to cut it on the thing. I'm going to take these off. It sounds pretty good. So any suggestions would be useful, because spraying it with chrome is a horrible idea, chrome paint. But to put it back on the way it is, it's even a more horrible other idea. Maybe I should just take the chrome off and spray it with something. Anyway, I'd be appreciative of your suggestions. All right, bye-bye. Well, I don't like it. Back to square one. It looks like the galvanized wire is not galvanized at all, but has iron in it, and the iron's coming through and rusting. That little patch is because I just wet it to see if I could clean it. I also don't like the chroming, and I've looked at all sorts of ways to do it, and I don't think I can afford to do, when I know I can't afford to spend 140 quid. And there is some chroming issues you can use. There are some chroming sprays you can use, but they don't look like chrome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that chrome off because it looks dreadful. It does look dreadful. I'm going to sand it down and think about it. I might actually just paint it a dark black, high gloss black, or something like that, or a dark mauve color, maybe a dark red. Okay. Okay, so I stand corrected. The bar is not rusted. Those are just little spots coming on it, but the spots are coming from this. This is showing off rust and it's coming through. I never thought to treat this, and this here has been treated with some black gloss, but it needs to be treated again. So I'm going to rip this off, do it again. I think this time, I like the natural look, but I think I'm going to get bleached. I'm going to get it bleached because you can buy bleached goat skin. So I'm going to do that. But as you can see from that, let's just look closer at that. It doesn't look like there's any rust on that. So all the rust is coming off this, and that's what's caused this. I wonder if that could be washed off. I don't think it could be. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick in the wash machine next time I'm doing washing tonight. Just see this happens. Took the bottom off because I thought I'd get a better seal if I glued it all rather than just one part of it. But it highlights another problem. That's the bottom. And then that goes on the top. If I move it, if I put it perfectly in the center, let me just show you. Let me just see if I got it perfectly in the center. Yes, I have. That's it. No, I haven't. Looking through a camera. That's it perfectly in the center. Right? If I glue it down. Right? If I take the bottom off, turn it around to the top part and put it on. You see that there's a big lip. Hold on a second. I'd make sure I get this exactly right to show you. You see there's a big lip there, and the rest is all perfectly centered. So that means that the top part, you can actually maybe even see it in the camera. It's stretched out there and there and there, but not on the bottom. So there's nothing we can do about that. The thing that made me notice is when I put that in, the top, when I put that in the top, it fits perfectly, which it should do. And it should also fit perfectly when you put it in the bottom, but it doesn't because the bottom's narrower than the top. It's not a critical thing, but it just shows you that these things were, over the years, made differently. So I'm going to glue that down and leave it for 2 or 3 days, get it solid. I'm not even going to try to stretch the top because I probably could do more damage, because how do you close in the top? It's not that it's bent one way and bent another way. It's actually, can you see this if I roll this? Let me just show you. If I roll it for you, can you see? You see what I mean? And that's a flat table. Anyway, we'll get it all together. Before I glue this down is colour it. And I had bought a special furniture, let me just see, touch-up markers. And that's all I'm going to use. Let me put that back to work. And I think I'll probably glue that in separately. And then I can press it down and then glue that to that. Okay? Right, I have put the bottom lid on. Nothing special about it, so I didn't film it. I just, what do you call it? Tight bonded it all around. I put this middle clamp on just to try to straighten it. It's only loose. I could actually move it with my finger just to bring the bottom perfect. The top is never going to be perfect. And those clamps are on 4 corners. So I think it'll be pretty good, but I'll never get the top correct. So this is an ongoing thing because this is the second skin I'm putting in, because I didn't paint that last time and I hadn't treated this, so the skin got dirty, so I took it out again. Now I'm not going to trim this skin. I'm going to put it in full size with the smooth side up, because I'm going to be able to pull it better. I believe I'm going to be able to pull it better if I do it this way. with the thing on top like that. Sorry, like this, with that being held by me. Right, so what I'm going to not do this time is I'm not going to tighten that right down and stretch it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to put it evenly with a little bit of tension on around all of it, like that, and try to get it looking even. But what will happen now is that'll dry out and the leather will shrink and you'll get a better tightness to the drum. And so when the drum's really tight, I'll tighten this a bit more, and it gives me a bit more flexibility to get the sound I want. If I tightened it right down now, I'd get the sound that I'm going to get. But if I tighten it halfway, it's only about halfway now, then I can adjust the sound to what I want. So I'm very happy. It's all nice and firm and solid, and I've still got lots of leeway there should I ever need to tighten it up again. And it's a nice tension now. So that's just about right. Now I have to take away the excess, and it's nerve-wracking. Hello, Georgie girl, how are you? Are you just going to stick your nose in there? Right, okay. So I'm going to use, oh, she wants attention. Oh, I know, right, okay, come on, all right, okay. Right, Georgie girl got some cuddles and kisses, and she's happy. And then she got a bit cross with me because I wouldn't let her up on my shoulder, because I know she wants up on my shoulder so she can get at the string lights which I have above my head. Now I'm going to use a scalpel, and I've got spare blades, and this is a rather nerve-wracking thing to do because leather is particularly, well, this is leather, right? It's particularly hard to cut. So, and I don't want to make any chances of cutting something there. So, are you on the wrong side? I think you are on the wrong side. Let me move you. That's better. I'm a right-handed beastie, so what I'm doing is I'm poking through it. Let's just see, from the back, poking through it with the sharp of the blade and going down and making sure I don't get too close to the actual drum head. Right, okay. I'm going to do this metal now. Georgie girl's watching away there, seeing what's happening. So I'm going to sand this all down now again and metal it up again. And those bolts, there's a couple of them need a little bit of work. I thought they were chromed, but I'll do them on the drum. And that's all looking lovely now, and it will look great when it's on the machine. Okay? Okay, I really like it, but I really don't like this showing, so I'm going to take a real risk. I've already done a couple of tests, and I'm going to use a scalpel going that way, just almost touching the drum head. So, and I've already done this, and it slipped and cut my finger. There, I've already done this, and it slipped and cut my finger. Stupid. So I have to do it cack-handed. Now I'm just going to fix up that little scratch there, just the one. Okay. But there's another little thing that I don't like, is that these have little knobs on them, little knobs, and they're pushing into the wood and damaging and eating away at the wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little sliver of metal on each side, slip it in, and just set that there. But so it'll be sitting against the metal of that, just to give, instead of a sharp edge, it'll give that flat, one on that side and one on that side. But the first thing I need to do is clamp that to get this straight, to get this back to circular so I can set that in. Okay, let's see what we got in the way of clamps. Right, okay, that's giving me a little bit of... It's failed again. Oh, come on. You see, as I squeeze it, these are fitting in easier because it's squishing it that way, so this will squish in. Right, okay. So that's sitting down. Let me just squeeze it again. Right, that's it sitting in. But now I'm going to slip a little bit of metal in there and there. I have a little piece of metal now, a little bit of chrome. It's fairly firm. Tuck it down in there and it just sits. You can see it just sits there. That's so hot. I hate those. But anyway, that one's done. Now I need to put another one up there. Someday I'm going to be rich and afford expensive clamps. And I don't know whether this is doing any good, but it's giving a little bit of firmness to that edge. I don't want anything sharp sitting up. Right, okay. So we're going to loosen this now, and they're going to stay in position because they're being held in by the pressure of the neck. So that's not going to go any further because that's a good steel ring. Now I put these. If you look very closely, you'll see they're actually just tiny nails. Tiny, tiny, tiny nails. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean these up and I'm going to use those nails because I want to try to keep this as original as possible, and so far I've managed that with this one. Okay, that's the nails in. You can see they're actually little round-headed nails. They were not that easy to put in. The metals on each side, the metal wouldn't stay in until I'd finished hammering the nails in. So theoretically, that's that finished. I'm going to tidy it up now and give it another little coat of gloss, and then I have to do these two things. They're pretty dirty. They're pretty dirty, and they're brass, and they're not screwed in, they're punched in, so that's going to be fun. And this one I have to do something with. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. We'll see what I do with it. Probably have to. We'll see. I'll not say probably, because if I can get that cleaned up, I'll probably put some metal varnish on it and try to keep it sandy coloured and clean coloured. It's tin, you see. It's chrome tin. Tinned chrome tin that's been chromed. Maybe you're all sick and tired of looking at Banjolins, but this is the one that I got from the auction, which was in a terrible shape, and I spent a lot of time doing it up. I don't know whether to put the full video up, but this is all so pretty now and working so well. Don't forget, I'm not a mandolin player. Now you make up your own words to a song and you play along like this, and you keep on going even though you're stupid. But if you're stupid enough, you might make a million and you can't say anything more. But here's the words to a song that I adore. Oh Marianne, why don't you find a song that you can do? It's a lovely little thing. It's 102 years old. It's in very good condition. I'm hoping to get £100 for it. I would need £35 for me because I spent money on everything, and the rest can go to the charity. But I think I know somebody who might like this, and I'll ask him if he wants to take it on. It's a lovely little thing. This is the one I can't think you can see inside, but I painted the inside red, the metal parts, to keep them from rusting. Say goodbye to it, I hope. Do the animals some good. Bye-bye.